Welcome to Basket Weaving with Textile Indie, where we cover all kinds of basket weaving tutorials and inspiration. In this series, we're finishing up the bean pot basket. So if you haven't seen video 1 and 2, where we wove the base and then the walls of this basket, you can check the description below for those videos. Subscribe to my channel to get more basket weaving content, and like this video because it helps it spread to other basket weaving enthusiasts. Thanks so much for doing that. That helps me continue to be able to make content like this. In this video, we're going to create the rim of the basket. So we'll go over cut and tuck, sandwiching a rim. We'll create handle eyes for a swing handle, and then lash the rim with X-Lashing. The cut and tuck for the bean pot is very similar to the other baskets that I've been teaching here on the channel. So go ahead and check out the cross stitch napkin basket video 3. I'll link that here and in the description below. You'll fold some, cut some, finish all of these off following that technique before you put on the rim. The bean pot basket typically comes with a wire handle. This is a swing handle that has some handle eyes. These pieces we're going to put into the basket at this point after we've done cut and tuck. Once you have the eyes in and we put the rim on, we'll insert the handle. But for now, go ahead and put the handle piece aside. If you're working with the Textile Indie kit, then you'll have all of these pieces in your kit ready to go. You'll just need to take the handle eyes and come against the side of the basket and gently curve. It's a soft metal, so it's fairly easy to curve these. You can also do it with some smooth pliers. So I'm going to come in and curve this up against the side of the basket so it matches the curve. And I'm doing it so that the piece that's on the outside, this loops around and layers outside, that piece or that side is against the basket. Like so. And then you're going to look at your spokes, and you need 2 spokes that are folded with 1 in between, and you want the same thing directly across. So you might have to look around your basket, rotate it around until you find that situation where you have 2 folded, 1 that's cut, and the exact same thing straight across. And you can follow that spoke down the bottom, and you want that cut one in the center, 2 folded on the side. So I've clamped over my center pieces. This one is cut, and if I follow this spoke all the way across, there's another one that's cut with 2 folded on the other side. So I'm going to use this section for my handle eye. So I'm going to set this clamp aside, grab one of my eyes. And now we're going to take this, lay this on top here, and I'm going to tuck one of the legs under the folded edge here, and then one of the legs under the folded edge here. So we can actually come in and pop out one of our cut and tucks. So pop that out, and then bring this leg, one of the ends, tuck this under the folded section here, and then have it sit right on top of that cut piece, and then bring this other piece over the other end, like so, and we'll tuck this back in like we did for the cut and tuck. So we'll fold that back in. We're just catching this eye in that fold. That tends to be one of the easiest ways to get it in there. You can get it in there without unfolding, but folding it back in isn't that hard. Then we'll do the same thing on this other side. I'm going to undo this tuck piece, slide this eye into the curve of that first tuck, pull it up so it sits right on top to the outside of that cut piece. I want the circle to line up with the top there, and then I'll fold this over the top of that other leg so it sits like this, and then fold this in under these rows inside the basket. So we have 2 handle eyes opposite each other on the basket. If you need to curve them in a little bit more to mimic the shape, you can. Those are all set. Now we're ready to set up the rim. To put the rim on your bean pot, I'll have you check out this video for setting up the rim, the timestamps on there, and I'll link that in the description below. It's the handled storage basket, and it covers how to set up your rim. Follow those steps to create the rim on your bean pot. The lashing on this rim we're going to do is X-Lashing. X-Lashing is where we go around once doing basic lashing, and then we switch directions and we go around in the other direction, creating X shapes overlapping that first layer of basic lashing. So you'll want a piece of reed that wraps around your basket 5 times. If you don't have a piece that is this long, you can go ahead and use multiple pieces. You'll just incorporate that new piece once you run out, and that actually is a lot easier to deal with than the length of one long piece. So if you want and you can't find that long enough piece, go ahead and use 2 pieces. It will make your life a little bit easier. If you want to go with just 1 piece and you have the length, go ahead and grab that. Make sure to soak it for about 2 minutes to ensure that it's nice and pliable. We are going to be working with this a lot, manipulating it a lot, so you want it to be nice and pliable. So for the starting knot on a, or the starting loop on a lashing, you're going to take the rounded side of the reed, lift that up so it's facing upward, and we're going to move the inner rim away from the basket. Tuck this in between the basket and the inner rim, and then bring that tail that we've just placed in there, create a little crease along the bottom edge of the inner rim, and then send the tail back into that space between the inner rim and the basket. Pull down, pull tight on both ends, and this is your securing loop so that you can start lashing. Now we're going to reference the outside of the basket, and for this basket we ended with a taper and then we did a start and stop row right above. We're just going to catch that start and stop row. When you lash, you just want to catch the top row of weaving, whatever that looks like for the basket you're working on. And I'll create a space under that top row between these stakes, create a space there, and then slide this through my hand, holding the rounded side against my thumb. I need to pull the full length through my hand to ensure that it doesn't get twisted and I don't corkscrew when I send it through the space. Then in this position with my thumb on top, I'm going to hold this upright and then stick it into that space in that orientation. Then when you pull that through, it's not going to corkscrew or break because we've kept the orientation. Now when you tighten, pull in toward the basket, not up. Up will start to fray the bottom edge of the reed. You want to pull out and then loop around to the outside. Glide this through your hand once again, keeping that same orientation. Create a space between stakes, making sure you have that 1 row of weaving underneath the rim. You need a row of weaving under there so that you can have something for the rim to hold on to. We'll pull that through and then pull nice and snug. Pull nice and tight to make sure that this doesn't end up loosening when it dries out. And you're going to continue in basic lashing until you get back to the beginning over here. So you'll go all the way around the basket. When you've gone around the basket once and you've completed basic lashing in each space, you're going to continue, but you're going to go back in the opposite direction. So from this last stitch that I did, I'm going to come to the outside, cross over that one, and go into the next space over back in the other direction. So we'll end up having 2 stitches per space moving in the direction we came from. So I'll pull through here, pull nice and tight, and there's my first X. Now from this side, I'm going to go here into this next space. And because X-lashing takes a little bit longer, you will need to spray down your lashing reed in order to dampen it so that it doesn't fray and disintegrate as you're doing the lashing. There's a lot of pulling through we're doing, so get it wet again so that it survives the lashing process. Once you've gone around the basket again in the other direction and you've done 2 stitches per space, you're ready to finish off the tail. So we're going to cut this down to about 5 inches and then take the packing tool and slide it into the inner rim. We're trying to get ourselves a space that we can follow with this tail. So once that's in place, you can start looping this in there. You might need to move the packer to get enough space to put this through. Send that in, pull down tight. And now you have 2 tails, your starting tail and your finishing tail. Go ahead and cut these to about 1 inch. I just let these hang out inside the basket. Once they're dry, they're going to stay put inside the rim. And now because of the the X-Lashing. You may have had some fraying on your reed, so come in and give the little tails a haircut. You can come in, cut anything down that you don't like that's sticking out. This is totally up to you if you want to do this or not. Sometimes it's a little bit easier when it's wet than when it's dry. So you can cut all of those away to clean the basket up, and then your X-lashed rim is complete. Now that your rim is done, you're ready to add the handle. But first, what I like to do is come in with my packing tool, and the eyes sometimes sink into the basket. So I'll come in and kind of lift those up just a little bit to try to get them to stick up like this. Do the same thing on this other side. This will make it a little bit easier to get to for attaching the handle. So now our little eyes are sticking up so we can see them. Grab your handle piece, and you may need some pliers in order to close these. Sometimes you can hand tighten them, sometimes they're too stiff. So you're going to come into the outside and loop that in, and then loop this in, and then crimp these down. I'm going to use pliers because they're too stiff for my hands to tighten. I'm going to tighten this down like so on both sides, and then there's your handle. You can come in and loop this out a little bit more if you want, so that it folds down. And there you have a completed bean pot basket. I hope you enjoyed this process, and join me again for more basket weaving. Check out this video for further basket weaving adventures. Until next time, happy weaving. Bye.